Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Apparently, I zoomed in a little too far today. Oh well. Everything here is great. Everything here is wonderful. I have been working on the side project, and I think it's going okay for now. It's a unique situation in that. I'm a contractor with this project, which means I submit billable hours. Like, here's what I did, here's how many hours it took me. This is my rate that we agreed upon. Pay me, right? Like, that's how this is going to work. I'm running that through my LLC, my company, which I have a meeting on Monday with a tax professional to help me sort all that stuff out. But that's not what this is about. There's going to be probably a decent amount of coding talk, or at least programming talk, not necessarily coding, for the next little while. Sorry about that. I haven't done anything down here in months, and I need to. But so anyway, the point is, part of this process is me learning, right? And me and the project owner know. He knew that I didn't know his stack, what we call a stack in software. I didn't know his stack before he offered me this opportunity. He knew that, and he said, part of our initial meeting was, are you smart and curious, and do you like to learn? And if you can fill that role, you're fine. I'll pay you. And I said, okay. Yes, number one, I love both. I am all of those things. But that means that, working on this project, when I look at the open issues on the project, and I'm digging through them, and I'm saying, all right, I think I can work on this. Those issues are probably going to take me 3 or 4, I don't know how many times as long as it would to take an experienced developer for this particular setup. To do, and it feels weird to me to bill for that, right? Like, as a mechanic, when I worked on cars, we work under a system that's called flat rate, and flat rate says, to do brakes on your car pays 9/10 of an hour. That's how much our shop paid. Maybe it was 8/10 of an hour, 8 or 9/10 of an hour. For some reason, everything in that world is done in tenths of an hour, which I don't know who. Anyway, the point is 9/10 of an hour to change brakes. That's brake pads, resurfacing rotors. Actually, I think if we did resurface rotors, it was an hour and a half. So let's go with that. So replacing your brake pads, resurfacing your rotors, it pays an hour and a half, right? As a mechanic, I get paid an hour and a half, regardless of how long that job takes me. As a new mechanic, as a new guy, it might take me an hour and a half, or maybe even longer. I'm only getting paid for an hour and a half. As an experienced mechanic, it takes me maybe a half an hour to do that job, and I get paid for an hour and a half, because that's what it bills. That's what it bills for, an hour and a half. That's a very simple system. This system is, I get paid, by however many hours I spend on it, regardless of how much of that time was me just spinning wheels. The hope is that as I spin those wheels, digging through unfamiliar code, I become more familiar with it, and as time rolls on, I will be much faster and much quicker. And he is willing to pay for that. And I know he's willing to pay for that because we've had the conversation. He said, yes, you bill me for the hours that you spend, period, right? And he is aware that it's going to take me some time, and that's okay. But it still feels weird. It still feels wrong, right? It feels like I'm doing something. I don't want to say dishonest. I'm not going to ever be dishonest. That's not something at a fundamental level, I'm not a dishonest person. I'm definitely not going to cheat the system here because there's nothing to gain from that. I'm much more interested in the knowledge that I am gaining from this project than the value, the monetary value that I'm gaining from this project. Much, much more interested in the project itself than the money that goes along with it. That's not to say I would do this for free. I probably would not. Or if I did, and if I started to do it for free, I would probably lose interest faster because there is some motivation behind it. But the point is, it feels weird. It feels awkward, and I know that's a problem with myself that I need to get over because that's the reason why I've never really been great at business, right? That's the reason why I've never actively pursued this type of work, like contractor type of work, is because I feel wrong when I'm asking somebody to pay me for my time. It feels incorrect for some reason. And I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't really have a good reason other than, I was hourly as a kid. I have not been hourly since I was a teenager. I have been, well, that's not true. I mean, I guess flat rate mechanic is an hourly job. I mean, I just told you that. Every other job I've had has been salary. And that feels like the normal thing. I'm going to pay you X and you're going to do your job. And here's the expectations I have. Whereas this is more like, here's what I want you to do. Go do it. And then just bill me. Weird situation. But, I before even learning the whole thing, like we still had much more introduction to the code base to go through. I had already figured out one issue, and I was able to, with his help yesterday, bug fix and actually fix the issue, which was nice. It felt good. It was a good situation. So I'm going to keep doing that sort of thing. I'm going to keep plugging away, and until eventually I'll understand the code base, and then billable hours will either go down because there's less to do and I'm faster at it, or we'll just, new features, and I'll just fill my time with stuff. But it's an interesting process, and it's not something that I have, I don't have a ton of free time to dedicate to it. But I have, enough free time that it's valuable to the project owner, and I have enough free time that it's valuable to the project, and I have enough free time that it's valuable to both M and I for me to do this. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know yet what's gonna come of it, but there is significant potential, and I'm enjoying the process so far. Yeah. Plus, I like the project owner. He's interesting to work with. He's an extremely intelligent person that is also not. He's extremely intelligent and presents his intelligence in a non-arrogant way, which is remarkable to me. And it's really comfortable working with him because I don't feel like I'm an idiot, even though I am. We both know it. He knows it, I know it. Currently, on this project, I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. I'm just a stumbling fool. But he doesn't treat me like that. That's the important thing. Very, very cool. So hopefully, as this progresses, we'll talk a little bit more about it, and maybe I'll be able to actually tell you what it is, and we can share some more information about it. But for right now, it's something I'm doing to better myself, and to hopefully help out the people who are using this product, make a better product. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is nostrum. It is a noun meaning an ineffective solution that is a quick fix or a band-aid, covering up a problem or masking its symptoms, but never addressing its root cause for a permanent fix. America's present need is nostrums with normalcy. Warren G. Harding. Nostrum. Nostrum. My legacy project that I'm working on, that entire code base is just nostrum.